He once had everything: a loving wife, a gentle home, and a child who waited for him every night. But slowly, he forgot the one who gave it all. In the beginning, life was simple. They prayed together before meals. They thanked God for small blessings. And their home felt peaceful. He was not a perfect man, but he was present. He laughed easily. He listened. He loved deeply. Then life began to change. Work became heavier. Responsibilities grew. Bills came faster than peace. I need to work harder, he told himself. This is for my family. At first, it sounded right. He worked longer hours, came home later each night, missed small moments, like dinner, like stories, like prayers. His wife noticed. "You've changed," she said softly one night. "We miss you." "I'm doing this for you," he replied, but his voice had no warmth. Days turned into months. The house was still there, but the feeling was gone. No more prayers before sleep. No more quiet talks about life. No more laughter filling the walls. He stopped going to church, stopped opening his Bible, stopped listening to the quiet voice inside him. And without noticing, he also stopped listening to his family. His child waited by the door every night, but slowly stopped waiting. His wife stayed silent, but her heart was already breaking. Loneliness entered their home, not loud, but steady. One night, he came home late again. The lights were dim. The house felt cold. His wife sat quietly. "I can't do this anymore," she said. Her voice was calm, but empty. He froze. "What do you mean?" he asked. "I lost you a long time ago," she whispered. "You were here, but you were never really here." He had no answer, because deep inside, he knew it was true. Days later, they were gone. The house became silent. No laughter, no footsteps, no one waiting. Only echoes of what used to be. For the first time, he sat alone, not in anger, but in regret. He looked around at everything he worked so hard for and realized he gained success but lost his family. whispered, "I forgot you." Tears fell slowly. I thought I was doing everything right, but I lost what mattered most. Silence filled the room, but in that silence, he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Conviction. He remembered the prayers, the simple days, the peace that once lived in his home, and he understood. When he forgot God, he slowly lost himself. And when he lost himself, he lost his family. Some lessons come with a cost, and some realizations arrive when it's already too late. But even then, God still listens. So tonight, as you rest, remember this: success without God is an empty victory, and a home without His presence will slowly fall apart. Hold on to what truly matters before silence takes its place. He left quietly, not because he wanted distance, but because he wanted a better life for them. The night he packed his small suitcase, the room felt heavier than usual. She stood by the door, forcing a smile, hiding the fear in her chest. He held her hand gently and whispered, "This is for our future." Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. And the silence slowly grew. Working abroad was not easy. Long hours, tired body, lonely nights. But every message he sent carried love. Every call carried hope. "I miss you," he would say softly. "Just wait for me. I'm doing this for us." But back home, something began to change. Loneliness can be quiet at first. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It fills empty spaces, little by little. She started going out more, answering messages she once ignored, laughing with someone new, a stranger who slowly became familiar. At first it felt harmless, just someone to talk to, someone who was there he was not. But small choices turn into big consequences. One night, she crossed the line, and everything changed. The messages from him became harder to read. The calls felt heavier to answer. Guilt slowly crept into her heart. But she continued, because sometimes people choose comfort over truth, until one day the truth found her. A simple message from the man who never stopped loving her. I'm coming home soon. I can't wait to see you. Her hands trembled, her heart sank. For the first time she saw clearly, not the excitement, not the attention, but the damage. The love she broke, the trust she destroyed. That night she couldn't sleep. The silence was louder than ever. And for the first time in a long time, she prayed, God, I made a mistake. I thought I was just lonely. But I lost myself. Tears fell slowly, not just from regret, but from realization. She remembered his sacrifices, the nights he worked overtime, the dreams he carried for both of them. And she realized she didn't just betray him. She walked away from the kind of love that people pray for. Days passed, and when he finally came home, he smiled the same way, gentle, sincere, full of love. But she was no longer the same. With a heavy heart, she told the truth, not because it was easy, but because it was right. Pain filled the room, silence followed. Some wounds don't heal quickly, and some lessons come too late. She found God, but only after she lost what mattered most. And sometimes that is the hardest truth to accept. So tonight, as you close your eyes, remember this. Love is not just about presence. It is about patience. It is about choosing the same person. Even in moments of loneliness, and when life feels empty. Do not look for comfort in the wrong places. Look up, because God listens, even in your quietest moments. And maybe, just He will guide your heart before it's too late.
Their marriage did not break in one day. It broke slowly, in silence. At first, they were full of love. They laughed easily, talked for hours, and believed nothing could separate them. But life became heavy. Work was stressful, money was tight. Small problems turned into daily arguments. He felt unappreciated. She felt unheard. And instead of fixing things, they started hurting each other with words. "I'm tired of this," he said one night. "Then leave," she answered, without thinking. But deep inside, they were both breaking. Days passed without real conversations, only short answers, cold looks, and long silence. Their home, once full of warmth, now felt empty. Even when they sat in the same room, it felt like they were miles apart. One night, after a painful argument, she sat alone on the bed. Her eyes were full of tears. "I don't want this kind of marriage," she whispered. At the same time, he stood outside looking at the dark sky. He felt lost. "I don't know how we got here," he said quietly. They both wanted peace, but neither knew how to start. Pride kept them apart. Until one night, something changed. She could not hold the pain anymore. Instead of arguing, she knelt down. "God," she said softly, "I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of being hurt." Her voice shook. "Please help me fix this, because I can't do it alone." Tears fell slowly. Across the room he saw her. For the first time, he didn't feel anger. He felt something deeper. Regret. Slowly he walked closer. He hesitated, then knelt beside her. The silence between them was no longer cold. "God," he whispered, "I've been selfish, I've been blind." His voice cracked. "I forgot how to love her the right way." They stayed there, not saying much, just praying. That night, nothing magical happened. There was no instant solution, but something changed inside them. Their hearts became softer. The next morning, they talked, not to blame, but to understand. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. "I'm sorry too," he answered. Even when it felt uncomfortable, they chose patience. Even when emotions were strong, they chose kindness. Even when it was hard, and slowly, their marriage began to heal. The laughter returned, the warmth came back, and the silence was no longer painful. They realized something important. Love is not just a feeling. It is a choice, a daily decision to stay, to forgive, to try again. And when they invited God back into their marriage, He didn't just fix their situation, He changed their hearts. So tonight, if your relationship feels broken, do not give up too soon. Sometimes healing begins when pride ends and two people choose to